What's up, wrestling fans? Welcome to State of the WWE episode 104. While we are unable to go live from the Joe Cronin Show, we decided to go live from Corrupted. So we're live on Corrupted, unless you're listening to this on the Joe Cronin Show, in which case you are hearing the taped version of this, and that's a whole different situation. And hang on, okay. So we have a lot of things on the table here today. We can talk Neville. In fact, you know what? Let's start with Neville. There's a lot of things to talk about. Bullet Club, Cody Rhodes, Ring of Honor, Jimmy Jacobs, the war between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes that seems to be going on. Many wrestlers unhappy. Let's start with Neville. Dave,
we'll start off right there because I even heard some more like the original plans and how it was supposed to go back and forth more, and Neville was just very frustrated. And some of the things I found out, Joe, I don't even know if you've heard yet, but all of the cruiserweight division didn't receive a basically like a credit check for the 2K18 game. Usually one of the biggest checks that they receive for merchandising, the WWE stars throughout the year, is WrestleMania, the DVD.
Well, they're not in the game, are they?
They are in the game. Most of the cruiserweights are in the game.
You're right, they are.
And the 205 Live's in there, but they're not receiving the same like stipend that everybody else is getting. Wow. They're not even receiving. I got to look up the exact numbers on it. But yeah, so that was one of Neville's main complaints. Then the lack of inclusion on the WrestleMania DVD. Plus, he was also promised a bigger role and a push, and it wasn't supposed to be like, a sideshow freak on 205 Live. That's kind of how he felt from what we're hearing right now. So he was promised to be pushed more.
Just wanted to say good morning, you sexy mofos. All right, got to get back to work.
Yo, Flow-Grown OG,
have
thanks.
A good one.
Look at that. Flow-Grown OG's at work, and he's dropping $5. Look at that tip. Thanks, Flow-Grown. Good morning. He's a shit bum in the morning. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's very concerning. But this is stuff that they've always done. I mean, the cruiserweights, how long have they been around now? Are we getting up here on a year? Are we up on a year now of the cruiserweights?
Yeah, it's about a year right now. I think maybe a little bit over.
I mean, I got to say a couple things. The first thing is, I feel like this is complaining that you would see after 3 years. I feel like they're pulling the trigger quickly on people being upset. I think, though, that...
Well, in one sense, yes, but the report here, from what they've been told, is that the 205 Live talent are the only ones that made their way onto the game that are not getting a piece of the sales like everybody else. They're not getting any royalties. They're only getting a flat fee for their inclusion in the game. But everybody else in the game is.
They're just getting effed everywhere.
You get royalties.
They're just getting messed with everywhere. I guess that's the thing. They're getting messed with everywhere, it seems like. They're being treated like second-class citizens, and maybe they are. I mean, I don't know. But, they're like a step above NXT people. But not quite main roster people.
Not actually. And the NXT people that are on the DVD got royalties.
Oh my God.
From what I'm reading here.
Well, that's, maybe they're not, the
cruiserweights are just getting a flat fee, though.
Well,
this report comes from NoDQ.com.
Neville getting the pre-show at WrestleMania, not getting on the DVD. This is what happened to Aries. Aries pulled the trigger quick. And Aries is already out there bashing WWE like, hey, I'm making more money out here. Ha-ha.
Yeah, exactly.
You got Neville saying, I'm making more money out here. You got Cody Rhodes and all them saying the same thing. Neville could be the next one to go here. And by the way, I don't know Neville's contract right now, but, he can go out and talk if he wants, but he won't be able to wrestle anywhere or do anything until the contract is up. The only way he can get out of his contract is if he says like, hey, I'll never talk about any of this, but let me on my contract now. But, if I was Neville, though, I'd be like, fuck that. If it's 6 more months on the contract or a year, I don't even know what it is. It's 6 months to a year. If it's a year, then he can't do anything for a year. If it's 6 months, maybe you just sit it out, because what you're gonna talk, if you're gonna bash WWE and go, if you know you're gonna bash WWE or shoot hard on them and use that, you don't want to give that up by signing a contract or silence agreement.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree with you there, but it's just, this whole situation is just so dicey.
Dicey? Like Andrew Dice Clay.
just
Dicey
a
Clay.
muddled mess, basically.
Hey, Dyke Clay. I just diked my wife.
Hickory dickory dock. No, I mean, and then plus you hear that on Saturday night, Enzo took the mic at a live house show in Regina, Saskatchewan, and he said, "The realest guy in the room. I took care of Cass, then I made Neville quit. You're nothing," while ripping into Kalisto.
When did he say it? I heard he said that on Raw. Was I crazy?
No, he said it on this past Saturday's live show. I don't recall him saying anything on Raw. But,
yeah. Okay.
So that's definitely sources have confirmed to us that this did indeed take place at the show. WWE is still denying that Enzo walked out of the company, but Enzo Amore might have disregarded, and basically, something happened backstage between the two of them. So the rumor around is that Enzo's title, reign really ticked off Neville as well, and basically the only reason that Kalisto won the belt is because they wrote themselves into a corner. Is what we read.
It explains why why that made no sense, right? Because it really made no sense. And I still think, even with the shocker or surprise that, we got to do something now that Neville left, I still think it was weird that you put the belt on Kalisto. But don't you get the sense that they had built a story arc to involve Neville, and now they're giving it to Kalisto? That way they can they're going to retell the story again. They're going to have, I guarantee you almost, that they're going to have Enzo cheat to beat Kalisto for the title, and then after a few weeks or a week or whatever, they're going to pick up where the Neville story left off. That way it got reset for you in your mind on Kalisto.
Yeah, I think that's exactly the plan.
I think
they booked themselves into a bad spot. Dan Kennedy called it on the Raw review, made perfect sense by saying, what else were they supposed to do? They literally said, Kurt Angle out of his mouth said, and it's hard to retcon this so soon, that any star that attacked Enzo during his celebration would no longer be viable for a title shot. So how do you go and let one of them compete for the title? So they had to bring somebody in, and they brought in Kalisto. So Kalisto is just a fall guy. He gets the belt. Now Enzo can win it back, and everybody has a title shot again because that clause is now null and void. Oh, a little side note. Kalisto put up a picture yesterday of him telling everybody to stop down to the Lucha Party in WWE, Yakima, while they're overseas. And he's holding up the Cruiserweight belt, but it looks black.
Yeah.
And, I saw V2 of Doom says, oh, that belt looks sick. And a lot of people are commenting on it. Oh, it's a new Cruiserweight belt.
Really?
It's not. He's using a filter on Instagram that just made it look black, but it's still the purple belt.
Oh, that's funny.
So so people know, it's not a new belt at all. It's just a filter that he's using. But,
that's crazy. Hey,
now there's talk of a few other stars that are supposedly going to take Neville's advice and follow suit and leave the company as well. I've heard a few rumors that Dolph Ziggler, The Ascension, and Rusev are some of the names being tossed around that are trying to work their way into the indies as well. So,
don't you feel like the Ascension in a weird way would be like cheered for some reason? Because almost because people feel bad for them, and they, the people that watch them on NXT really enjoyed them. So like, I feel like if the Ascension came out, like, all they got to do is come up with a cool song. Like, I don't know the story behind Cody Rhodes' song, and I wish I could. I'm sure that it's out there in multiple interviews where he talks about how he got it. But the fact that he has his own custom song that he can just take anywhere, take it to Ring of Honor, take it to Impact Wrestling, take it to the Independents, take it to New Japan, wherever he takes it. I know that they do the Bullet Club song now mostly, but that American Nightmare song,
Yeah.
That thing is awesome, and it's like, that is the first.
Oh, I love it. It's fantastic.
That might be I want to say that that's the first time, because usually on the indies, a lot of wrestlers just come out to like, oh, I'm coming out to Guns N' Roses, like, welcome to the
Sweet
jungle.
Child of Mine.
Yeah, like 70,000 wrestlers come out to that stuff. But this guy has his own custom. It's just like, everyone should be doing that. Like, every independent wrestler should be in it for themselves. Every independent wrestler, they already have it with shirts. You got your own guy designing something for you to sell the shirt. You should have a band or somebody somewhere to, hey, I give you $500, write me a song, give you $200, write me a song. I'm sure there's people out there write your song for free. And make sure it's what it is and use it everywhere, and make sure you own the rights to everything. And I would say, hey, yeah, I'm cool. It's cool, Ring of Honor, but I'm using my song, that's what's happened. It's crazy what's happened with Cody Rhodes. It's like, this is the roadmap. And so, yeah, I guess a bunch of wrestlers have been reaching out to Cody Rhodes to be like, hey, what do I need to do? And have you heard about, that's been going on like crazy, apparently?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To hear that Rusev is on that short list was kind of surprising. The Ascension, I believe wholeheartedly. They screwed the Ascension so hard when they first debuted. They could have been, I thought they were going to be like the next Brood, per se. That's how I envisioned them. And then they turned them into disgracing the Road Warriors and trying to be the next Legion of Doom. I thought that was a huge misstep. And since then, they've done nothing but job. They never were taken serious. They were never a credible threat. Everything they did was lackluster. The only thing that I've ever enjoyed them with was being made fun of by, the fashion police.
Yeah, and they're ruined. I mean, they're ruined over there. They're a complete joke.
So for them to go to the Indies, I think that they'd be able to reinvent their characters, come out, be more of like a ministry style tag team, something real dark, brooding, gothic like, and they can get over instantly. Have a real, I like their theme song too. I love them in NXT, but unfortunately they just weren't properly utilized and handled.
Yeah,
creative ruined them right from the get go. Now, like I said, Rusev is a bit of a surprise to hear on that list. But think about since his injury and his comeback, what have they done with him? He had a flag match that was a disaster with Cena.
Yeah,
and then what?
That's been it. He lost to Orton, right?
Yep.
Rusev's they're done with Rusev. It seems like he's done. Like
they basically wrote him off. Lana's no longer with him. Yeah. Lana hasn't even come out in a while.
You're seeing the end of it. I mean, really, I think you're really surprised about that.
As much as I say I'm surprised, then again I'm not. And then same thing with Dolph.
It's like the same thing as Kozlov. Remember, what was it, Viktor Kozlov?
Yeah, Vladimir
Kozlov.
Yeah.
He had what? I want to say he had a year of a serious run, maybe. I don't remember exactly, but as soon as they were like, we're done with him, he became a joke act. Like, we are so close, I think, to seeing Rusev like teamed with somebody that like is goofy and makes no sense. And by the way,
unfortunately,
here's another thing. I know this is jumping topics, but I strongly am wondering. I don't know if Jinder's called out AJ Styles, because you would think AJ Styles would be next for Jinder at this point. But if that's not the case, I think the only thing that could happen is AJ Styles or the New Day. I feel like the New Day would challenge. I'm not even kidding. Like, the New Day would come challenge Jinder Mahal, because Big E Langston can take on Jinder Mahal, and the other two guys can handle the Singh brothers.
Well,
what do you think about that?
Kofi's supposed to debut a new look, and they were thinking about giving Big E a push since they're now done with the Usos and they have to be away from the tag team championship for a while.
And they got to look strong.
This has been discussed, so that's a great idea, Joe. Yeah. I agree with that tenfold. That would be incredible. Big E, we've said for a long time, has WWE Championship, potential. He really, really has the ability to go ahead and, be the top contender in the company.
I mean, honestly, I don't know if I really am into that anymore or exactly right now. I would rather see Big E Langston fighting for like the Intercontinental title or US title. That's where I see Big E right now. I still don't see him as a champion right now. But what I can say is, just like the Shield, the New Day all together, like the New Day holding the WWE World title, that to me sounds more legitimate than many other options, which is crazy. It sounds
better than Jinder, that's for sure.
Well, yeah,
that's
Yeah,
I think it'd be
Jinder's
good
promos
for
have hit a wall.
Yeah, it'd be good on they'd be good feuding on the mic against each other, and on top of it, I also think that it would service the fans better than what we've seen recently. Anyhow, it was hard to get people excited that didn't know Nakamura previously with the lack of promo skills that he has. And the way that they used him in promos, like you said, "You die" would have came across so much more poignantly and better stated than his stupid nursery rhyme stuff. So it was hard for people to get behind him. No one likes Jinder, so the level of caring for their title match was pretty much at an all-time low, when it should be, he should be being revered at this point. But,
yeah. I mean,
to have New Day in that point, I think
what would be cool is if, to be honest, I would see like imagine if Kofi had a new look and it was like Kofi's been in the WWE for how many years now, and I love Kofi.
A long time, over a decade.
I love Kofi so much. I went to wrestling school with him. It would be kind of cool if it was Kofi even that went for the title. I know that sounds crazy, But no matter who wins it, no matter who could win it, like Kofi won it from Jinder or Big E won it from Jinder. I don't see Xavier winning, but he could do it too. Any three of those guys could do it. But somebody's really got to rise because they're all fairly equal to me. But maybe Kofi could do it. Kofi could be like, I've been in this company, and get serious all of a sudden. Like, I've been in this company, almost kind of like how Jeff Hardy when he was facing The Undertaker. Like, Jeff Hardy had been in the... Jeff Hardy was in the company for a while at that point, 7 years, I think. Or maybe I'm thinking of the other run with when he first won the WWE Championship.
No, he was there for about 7 years at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted...
That was around 2006, 2007.
I've gone backwards on this because a couple years ago I wanted Big E to win. Like, I was like, oh man, Big E could be the guy. But I don't know. But I would love that New Day would have the WWE. I just imagine the New Day just all kind of sharing that title. Like, I could see that. But you'd have to put it on one of them. You couldn't.
I wouldn't want to see Big E have a long run, but a good 3 months right now to get us to the Rumble.
Well,
it depends.
Would be fantastic. It depends. If you give the ball to Big E and allow him, like in the promos, to sort of just go off in promos, like it's possible that Big E and one of those, Xavier, I don't think Kofi could do it, but maybe could go off on a promo and be so weird and stuff that people just love it. Like Big E could be like, you're looking at the WWE champion. Yeah, I'm going to ride a unicorn down to the ring, and I'm going to pick you up and drag you and throw you over the rainbow. He just starts acting crazy. I don't even know what Big E would say, but Big E's more clever than whatever I just said. But, he could be, but I saw Big E as a champion when he was, like, with Dolph and stuff like that. It was like, oh, this guy, so agile and whatever. But it seems like whenever a black guy is doing well in WWE, they just get shut down. Like, whenever they get to the championship point, something goes wrong. Like
immediately.
Like, oh yeah, it's almost like they're. But it's weird though because a lot of times it's like WWE's backing them up, but then when they get too far, and I'm not saying I'm not saying anything. I don't know what this means. I mean, The Rock did really well. Obviously, The Rock busted down the door. Alexa, stop. The hell, but yeah, no, but I mean,
Alexa Bliss chiming in,
and I know that Ahmed Johnson had issues. It's like Ahmed Johnson was on his way, and then all of a sudden the whole nation thing, it kind of made him look crappy, and then the rest of the nation looked worse when The Rock showed up, and The Rock really took over everything. Then you look back at Bobby Lashley. Like, what happened to Bobby Lashley? Like, he looked like he was groomed to go, and all of a sudden, right as he was getting all that success in WWE, he was gone. So like I'm waiting for when is that gonna? Why is it always someone can't quite get there?
Like you said, literally every time they just shuts him down.
Yeah, I mean Big E would have to. I would say that someone in the New Day is gonna have to come like someone's going to have to get over as the number one guy. You're going to have to let all the guys get a lot of mic time and do whatever they want. Like, say to the New Day, listen, you guys are still the New Day, you're still one, but I want you each to do your own individual promos, and I want you guys to compete with each other in these next coming weeks. And I want to see if anybody pulls ahead of the pack, or if the audience responds to what one of you does. And if somebody can pull away, we're going to give that person the championship, and then you guys will be the New Day, the WWE World Champion, with the WWE World Championship, so to speak. And I would throw that at the New Day, and I would let them run and see what they do. And if one of them emerges and people catch on and whatever creativity that somebody comes up with wins, you struck gold right there. If none of them come through and they just remain popular, but nobody's pulled ahead of the pack, then I would not put the title on anybody yet. But I would at least feel confident knowing that, wow, the New Day got them, it's pretty damn over still. But, because Big E, clearly, if you moved him away by himself, singles, he could be a great competitor. And honestly, when they break up, if they do break up, and, people say, why would they ever break up with the marketing machine and what they're doing? Well, they broke Enzo and Cass up when they were doing okay. They were doing all right. They broke up
the Shield when they were still white hot.
They broke up the Shield when the Shield was on fire.
They broke up DX. They broke, it's happened many times before. Same thing with Evolution.
Yeah, and by the way, New Day is starting to trend a little bit. I mean, not down, but they can still kick ass. They can still do really well. But they're still trending kind of. I feel like they're starting to go down.
Well, they've accomplished not everything that they could have, but close damn to it. I mean, they had the record for tag team title reign.
Yeah.
They've done the Hell in a Cell now. They've had how many WrestleMania moments, things like that. So they're at the point now where what more can they accomplish as a team, as a cohesive unit that isn't involving one of them having a singles run. They could still be a unit, a threesome. Xavier loves threesomes, and they can go ahead and keep them together. But like you said, have Big E or Kofi or Xavier go for a singles title and have the other two be more of a support role. I think that would work well. But how much more can they do as a tag team? That's the curious question here.
Yeah, and I mean they're gonna start trending downward a little bit, if they haven't already. And I mean it's not a crash; it's just they're gonna go down a little bit, And will they come back up and go down and go back up? It's like they'll be all over the place.
Exactly. And we've seen the New Day hit lows before, and they've worked their way out of it. And then they had this great feud with the Usos that culminated in one of the best Hell in a Cell matches we've seen in the past few years. So,
but here's a question for you: what would you do? Because I'm confused. I don't know what I would do. Would you have Big E Langston win the WWE Championship and go heel on the other two guys, or would you have him go heel on the other two guys, win the WWE Championship, either way, and then have him sort of be like, you were holding me down, of course, with the Fruity Pebbles and like whatever else. That was all fun and everything, but it doesn't win championships. And then it's a generic classic heel turn.
I wouldn't do either of those personally. What I would do is have him win the title, like right now, perfect setup. You have Kofi and Xavier. They help keep away the Singh brothers. Big E captures the title. He gets through Jinder, goes down the line. Oh, what's that? He loses to AJ 3-4 months after winning their first bout. AJ gets a second rematch. He loses to AJ. And that's when he sours on his New Day partners. And that's when he says, oh, well, you guys should have helped me more. But they're still together. You notice a few little cracks, in their strength. But they're still together. Then when he recaptures the title, he says, don't come out. He does it on his own. He gets the title. Then he turns on them. That's how I would do it, saying I didn't need you. I just had to prove to myself I didn't need you both. You were holding me back. You're the reason I lost the title in the first place. So kind of do it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I'd want to break them up, to be honest. I mean, after the performances with Usos and stuff,
that's why I'd want to keep them together as long as possible. And then at least you could have that be in the back pocket. That one loss you could turn him heel by saying, oh, well, it was your fault for not helping me retain the title. But then you could also keep them together and never touch on that again like WWE does. So it gives you options.
Let me be cynical here for a second. Let me be kind of dark and cynical here. I don't know what the comparison of the Shield's merchandise is versus the New Day's at their hottest. Like, I don't know what that comparison is. I'm willing to bet that it's close. The New Day's, all the New Day's merch versus the Shield merch. What would you say? I think I would say the Shield sold a little bit more during their heyday.
I would say New Day because they had not so much more in the sense of marketability, but what they sold.
Yeah.
So the Shield didn't have any type of glow sticks, or they eventually had a foam finger, I think, of Roman's Superman fist that said Shield on it, I believe. But all in all, honestly, New Day's had the Bootios. They've had all the different little accessories, hundreds of T-shirts. I mean, there's been so many different New Day T-shirts. Then they actually sold the Bootio cereals. They've had those unicorn horns. They've even had branded trombones that were sold at one point. So like, Francesca's.
This is why I say something like this. Let me be cynical and dark for a second. Why is it that the WWE, when they had 3 hot guys in the Shield, broke up the Shield eventually, like fairly quickly. But with the New Day, they're seen as still needing to be all in a group. It's almost like, why doesn't the WWE think that they can break all up and have singles fortune?
Yeah, it's a very
maybe it's different because Kofi did that for so long, and they sort of hit a wall with writing for Kofi.
But they never really think about Kofi. I remember him as Intercontinental Champion.
He should have been a great.
I remember him as U.S. Champion too. But he never had a story. Name one storyline that he was involved with.
No, they didn't want to.
I can't think of one promo or storyline that he had or gave. And all I remember from him is the boom drop and the pyro.
Yep. It was always just about...
He came out smiling, and he had an accent that he suddenly dropped that he is, fourth wall broke and commented on. But besides that, I don't recall him doing anything spectacular besides his in-ring work. He was great in the ring, and he was a great wrestler. He was not even that he was great then. He was solid. No. He was dependable. He always did well. He was never amazing. He's improved exponentially since being with the New Day, I feel.
Yeah, this has elevated him to from a mid-level talent to this is upper, like, top mid-card.
Yeah, he's definitely in the upper echelon at this point, thanks to his brethren in the New Day. But I even Randy Orton versus Kofi, that got squashed so quickly. Mm-hmm. But even that to me isn't memorable because what did backstage politicking screwed over Kofi there too, and that got ended. They shit canned that super fast. Yeah, because of Orton's bitching. Randy killed his push faster than anybody could blink at that point.
If the New Day does not come out to challenge Jinder Mahal for the world title, and one of these guys doesn't face Jinder, then I don't think you'll ever see anybody any one of them, with a WWE championship. Because this is the only time I could think it's.
Yeah, that it's perfectly viable and feasible. And here's a perfect segue, right? I'll connect this all back in a second, but Jinder Mahal did an interview online with Twitter and a few other places. He did like a Reddit AMA.
Maharaja.
And that's actually what the tag they used, the hashtag modern day Maharaja. So they asked him, you'll be a part of Starrcade. Were you a fan of WCW? What's your typical day as a champion? And he talks about, being from Punjab, how he's the, Punjabi pride, and goes on, how he got a very warm welcome for being in Delhi, how this is going for him. How do you maintain your physique? Here's the point thing for him. Originally they said, who's your dream opponent for WrestleMania 34? His initial answer was Brock Les, and then he said, that would be amazing. Wait, no, someone like John Cena. John Cena is such a big star here in India. It would be a blockbuster match. Especially if I beat someone like John Cena, I would really establish my own legacy, which is my number one goal. And, I mean, in this interview, they had some good points. Do you think you can beat CM Punk's record of 434 days? The Shield reunited. Do you remember, memories of 3MB and the Shield facing off? Do you think you'll ever reunite with 3MB to face the Shield? Especially since Drew McIntyre's back in the company. So they gave a lot of good questions here. But the one thing that everybody's focused on is his dream opponent, originally being labeled as Brock Lesnar, but then he said John Cena. So, I mean, we got an article right here, that says it too. And I think that all leads to what's going to happen. I think that spelled it out perfectly. We're going to see Jinder hold the title until WrestleMania, and that's when John Cena is going to go ahead, get his record-breaking, 17th win at that point in time. Yeah. And then we'll see John, lose it after that and kind of ride off into the sunset and be a real part-timer. I don't think he'll retire then, but I think he'll be really only a WrestleMania maybe once or twice a year performer at that point.
Oh man, I don't know. It's seemingly more and more like Jinder's gonna make WrestleMania with this title.
Absolutely. I mean, the heart of the matter they said here is here's the direct quote. I fully intend on being WWE champion come WrestleMania and even after WrestleMania. So John Cena, this is an official challenge to you. That's what he said.
Wow.
I think they're planting the seeds now, as they usually like to do a few months out before the ticket sales start for WrestleMania, with all the... I think that this is what's in the stars. This is the plan. That's what we're going to see. I'm telling you right now, it's been said since last year they wanted Roman versus Brock again. I think Brock's going to hold on to the title as well because look at Survivor Series. Well, what do we have?
Are they really going to put Jinder versus Brock at Survivor Series? That's the biggest waste ever.
It is a waste.
Who wins in that? Who wins? There's no... You don't want either one of those guys to win.
Well, that's the thing, but Dave Meltzer, originally reported the plans for the champion versus champion match. And due to Lesnar and Mahal currently holding the titles, the belief is that both men will serve as representative of their brands for this matchup.
Yeah.
And they're trying to give it like this big fight feel, you know, Raw versus SmackDown.
It never is. I hate Raw versus SmackDown.
I've never liked it either. I never liked that.
I liked it the first year.
Matchup.
Like the first year it happened, like what was it, 2001 or 2003? Whatever the first year it happened was, like I thought it was like, wow, that's cool. And then like then after that I just thought this sucks.
The only benefit to having this match is that no other talent has to eat a pin to either of these champions currently.
Yeah.
You know, Balor doesn't have to lose. AJ doesn't have to lose. But no matter what, they're going to devalue one of the titles. And which one's going to get devalued?
Yeah.
Jinder's, the WWE Championship, because you know Brock Lesnar is not going to get pinned by Jinder fucking Mahal. I mean, and that's even if we have a straight outcome down the middle. Brock hasn't been working long matches, so it's going to be a shit match. Jinder's not great in the ring currently either.
Yeah.
So it's really going to be a shit match, I'm sure. It's going to be quick. Brock will come in. I picture him getting in a little bit of offense.
Well,
Jinder, you know, and then
here's the thing.
F5.
Goldberg is more exciting than Jinder Mahal, but Jinder Mahal can work a match. Goldberg really can't work a match. So you've got a guy in Goldberg who can't really work a match, but he's got a few exciting moves. Jinder Mahal has no exciting moves, but he can at least work around in a match. That's not even exciting, you know. But Jinder Mahal it wouldn't be good, but Jinder Mahal could hang around for a 15-minute, 20-minute match. Goldberg really can't.
No, Goldberg was gassed in 16 seconds, so.
Yeah, so it's like, but what Goldberg does is more exciting than Jinder. So, you know, it's all signs lead to horse shit. You know, as far as that goes.
It's very ass backwards. And the reason why WWE is pushing for this so hard, though, is because no one respects Jinder as champion. I mean, the majority of fans don't. And they feel like if they can have Jinder kick out of the F5, that it'll bring him to a new level, showing that despite enduring a lot of punishment, he can persevere. Even if he doesn't win, they want to make him be...
I would be more in favor of Jinder beating Braun Strowman. And that is not, I would not want that to happen. I simply would not want that to happen. But you cannot have Jinder Mahal versus Brock Lesnar. You just cannot do that. Like, I don't want to see Jinder beat Braun Strowman, but they should do that before they do this. Because that is stupid.
Yeah, no, I agree entirely. It's a mess all the way around. I don't know how or why they went ahead and came to this decision. I mean, they want to go ahead and they want to make Jinder look more credible. Well, I don't think this is the best way to do it.
Right.
But that's what they're going with, and unfortunately, I think
he is credible. He's had the title for how long? I mean, come on.
In the fans' eyes, you know, a lot of people still just write him off.
No,
so they're trying to make him. Oh, if he faces Brock and survives even a little while. You know, plus they're trying to make a huge marquee matchup, title versus title.
You want to make him look credible? I don't even know if that would make him look credible, but he'd have to win the Rumble or something. I don't know. Yeah, like he loses the belt at Royal Rumble, then wins it back. I don't know. That would be enraging. That would be the worst Rumble. Survivor Series is always crappy. When I was a kid, Survivor Series was great because I don't know why. When I was like a little kid, it was fun. And especially when they put the good guy team it made no sense at all. But at the end of the night, they would put the good guys and then the bad guys together, and they'd have like all the survivors would face off at the end of the night. Like, that was cool because I was a kid. I was like 6, and I was like, wow, oh yay, go Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, and Big Boss Man, go beat the Ted DiBiase and them. But like that, but watching it back, it's like, man, this thing sucks. They need something bigger. Survivor Series is going to be the shits.
I agree entirely. I mean, despite the match being a dud and devaluing the WWE Championship, their mindset here is that it would boost his mediocre WWE Championship run if Jinder has a solid showing against the Beast Brock Lesnar.
Why does my voice always run out? Modern day Maharaja. Like swear to God, halfway through a promo every week, he like loses his voice.
Think about Survivor Series. What if they had, I wish they went with, Finn and Brock. I think that would have been a much better choice. That would have been exciting. The Shield versus the New Day even, that's brand versus brand. That could have been a great match.
They could have even had Finn versus Brock, had a 10-minute match go by, and then had Bray Wyatt show up. You know, they could even done that. I mean, that's not, you know, people would bitch about that, to be honest, but at least that gets you out of it. It makes intrigue. It gets Finn and Brock. It does waste them in the ring together, though. That's the problem there, is it would waste, oh, you've seen it now. But it would build Braun and Finn's whatever rivalry they got going, which, you know, I bitched that this rivalry wasn't good enough before. I mean, maybe when all is said and done, it will be. Maybe they'll go to WrestleMania with this fucking thing. I mean, that would be crazy if it went that long, but, you know, they're lazy, man. They might, you know, I feel like sometimes
it definitely reeks of laziness. It's I know, and it's disheartening because you want to get excited about something. I mean, tonight Raw, it's the TLC go home show. The Shield just freaking reunited, and we're like, oh, just get it over with. Just get to the pay-per-view and see where we go from there. And now that we know that this is going to happen, what do we get?
Super Chat Party.
Hey, Super Chat Party worked.
Best Survivor Series moment. Mine is when HBK won the world title in the first Elimination Chamber match in 2002.
Yeah, I forgot that was Survivor Series. That was a great... Was that the one where the crowd just exploded? ADTR, thanks for the $5, man.
That was good. That was really good.
I remember when Stone Cold had that tournament, Deadly Games. That was one where Shane screwed him at the end. Michaels wins.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Isn't Survivor Series also where Austin got hit by the car in 2000, 2001, something like that?
It was 2001, I think.
I think it was that earlier than that because he wasn't in WrestleMania 2000. It might have even been 99, to be honest with you.
Where's the one where Shawn wins? Let's see. Because if this is the Shawn one, this crowd just erupted when Shawn Michaels won. Yeah, this is that one. I love this Survivor Series. Yeah, this match was really good. If you go back and watch this, like, it's so goddamn good. And the ending here, listen to this crowd. Listen to this crowd. Ready?
He's going to try again. One more pedigree. He's going to scramble him up the aisle. Look out, Buckus. Back body dropped the game. He came out. Sweet champion. The cover.
First donation. Huge fan. Been here for years, lol.
Hey, Jam. Hey, Jam, thanks, man. I had to recognize Jam. Jam, thanks, man. Wait, is that €2? I can't tell money that's not U.S.
I believe so.
I think it's £2. Hey, man. Jam, thanks so much for the donation, Jam. And shout out to everybody in the UK and all over the world that's listening right now. It's a different time right now. It's 10 a.m. here. I don't go live at this time much. And I hope everybody's safe with that hurricane in Ireland and the UK. But yeah, thank you very much, Jam.
Absolutely, we appreciate it greatly.
Jam it inside. Okay, no. There's another one. Jesus,
Party.
we're on fire now.
Do you think that Bobby Roode is doomed on the main roster? His promo on Tuesday was awkward and he just feels flat.
Yeah, TB Jammer. Now a different Jammer. TB Jammer, thank you for the $5 in the super chat. Yeah, I do. I'm concerned. I think they're trying to put him on cruise control until they come up with something. But this guy should have debuted face for like a second and then immediately flipped heel.
Immediately. It
should have been classic. It should have been a layup. And I don't know why they didn't do that. Thanks, ADTR, Jam, and TB Jammer for the super chats. Yeah, I think they really dropped the ball there. I don't know what this is very. These guys get ruined. It's just a fact now. It's 80% chance of ruined if you come from NXT. Here's that pop again for Shawn Michaels winning.
I'm hearing JR here too. Oh, so good.
Sweet champion. The cover. The cover. He's got it. Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is the world champion. What did you say?
This place is exploding for Shawn Michaels here. And I got to tell you, man, I was exploding that night too. I can't
even hear the audio, Joe, and I remember it.
Yeah.
I could still sweet chin music. Yeah. He's got it. 1, 2. I could picture JR, am I right?
It was a loud.
Yeah. I could still remember it like it was yesterday. Just JR freaking out, screaming, and it was just it was so. I get goosebumps thinking about it. It was.
I want to say that it's the loudest pop that Shawn Michaels ever got. It was louder than WrestleMania 12 in Anaheim, even. Like, it was roaring. I think that was MSG. I think
about how many people wrote him off at that point, because he was gone for a while. He lost his smile after 14. Then with the back injury, everything, he was gone. It was done. And I didn't think he'd ever be a champion again. I don't know about you.
Dude, I know. I mean, people have to understand, he left the company, and they told us he had a bad back injury and he could never wrestle again. And you said to yourself, he'll be back. That's bullshit. After a year, you went, oh, my God, it's been a year and no Shawn Michaels. I'm losing my mind.
Universal Championship.
Hey, Vito.
That looks the same as... Oh, give me a freaking break.
High as a fucking kite. Good shit. I want to tongue punch Leoxa by this is fart box.
Yeah, go get her, Vito.
Absolutely. You can smack her ass like that fan did.
Yeah, you got. So Vito, thanks, man. Thanks for the donation, Vito. Thank you guys for the support. But yeah, you got to understand, like, after 2 years, you were like, oh my God. And Shawn was coming back as the commissioner and stuff. So every time he came back as the commissioner, you were like, he's gonna get in the ring. He's gonna get in the ring. And then he didn't. And then he went away again. And you were like, oh my God, he really is injured. He really can't wrestle ever again. Oh my God. And after 3 years of no Shawn Michaels, you were like, oh my God, he really. The only thing you can compare it to is CM Punk right now. Think about how you feel about CM Punk now. Every year that goes by, you think, oh my God, he's not going to come back. But it's not even close, because with Shawn Michaels, they said he has a back injury that ended his career. So they were saying he cannot wrestle. He has a back injury. With CM Punk, you know he's out there and he could come back. So it's still not the same thing.
It's kind of like a Daniel Bryan thing at this point. But.
You're right. It's more like Daniel Bryan. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, and
Daniel Bryan's another one being rumored too about going to the Indies.
But imagine if Daniel came back and then had a match. And then it was like, oh my God, be careful of his head and everything. That's what it was like when Shawn Michaels came back. They had worked us so hard that Shawn Michaels had a broken back, and he did have a back injury
and a severe, crippling depression and addiction to pain meds.
But that's what I didn't know. We didn't like that. Yeah,
we didn't know all that at that point. But we knew that the injury was extensive and.
Yeah, everybody that watches Shawn Michaels stuff now, that goes back and watches the Shawn Michaels DVDs and stuff, we didn't know all that. Nobody knew. We thought this guy's back is broken. Unless you were like really reading the dirt sheets and you maybe knew about it somehow through a magazine or through some of the websites maybe. At the time, in 99 and 2000, or especially 98, 99, you just thought that he was majorly injured and he's done. And for him to come back at SummerSlam against Triple H, it was like, that was awesome. That was awesome, and then to win the title there was great, because that was a great Elimination Chamber match, and I mean,
if you want to go, that was fantastic. If you want to go current Survivor Series, I don't remember, what is it, 2014 or 15 when Sting debuted, and it was the Authority versus like Team WWE per se with John Cena, and then you saw John Cena get eliminated like number 3, and it was down to Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Then that's when Sting came out and helped Dolph win, and Dolph, put on this amazing performance, and we're like, oh my God, this is Dolph's time to shine. Roman Reigns was out with that injury where he had surgery. So, I mean, like, this was it, and I was hyped. That was a great match. They did that very well, and it was great to see Sting return, and it all was just a very well put together moment to see the Authority crumble, and they were going to be gone. I think they were gone for 3 days at that point before they got brought back, but I don't know. But yeah, that was in recent memory a good one too. So.
Yeah, I really, all that stuff blurs together. I got to tell you, everybody out there listening, like, I can't tell you how many things I forget. Like, from 2000, I'm not even joking, from 2000 and on, my mind is really blurred. Like, WrestleManias I kind of remember, but 2000 and on, it's hard for me to remember what happened. I forget almost everything. It's crazy.
See, I don't have a memory like that either. I mean, I've got a bad brain anyways, but people would be like, oh, what's your favorite pay-per-view? And I would literally, I would have to go through lists and relook up, the match list and go back and watch things before I could be like, oh yeah, this was my favorite, at this point in time, or what did you think of this? And I remember specific things of the Attitude Era from 96 to 2000. I can pretty much recall most of the things just because it's so ingrained in my memory. But past that, I have to, unless it's something major that happened, I really have to go back and recall or rewatch, and it's an unfortunate side effect of getting older on top of other compounding issues. But I hear you there. So much of it just blurs together, and it's hard to pick apart.
Well, here you go, everybody.
Joe Cronin. Remember, we talked to him once because he was Star Maker Bolin had him doing his show for a little while, and Bolin fired him because he was such an annoying fuck.
I just played the clip of Cornette, one of the clips. I love the part where he's like, he's got a cool way of talking in the microphone.
Cool way of talking.
Hey, listen, we're going to talk a little bit. We got some more stuff to cover here. We'll talk a little bit more at Neville real quick, and we're also going to talk about Cody Rhodes, the Bullet Club, and Roman Reigns. What Cody Rhodes is saying to Reigns, what Reigns is saying to Cody, what this shit means. This is fucked up, and we're going to talk about it in just 1 second. We just got to pause real quick for a quick break, and we'll be right back in 1 second. Right back, Jake. Become a member of the Cronin Club by going to patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Get 8 hours of bonus content a week not seen on YouTube. YouTube doesn't like the controversial stuff, but I am free to do what I want to do on Patreon. They won't be taking down these videos, so get the following for just $5 a month. Access to polls, the Corrupted podcast, every week featuring myself, Ken, and Justin Bailey. Morning Madness, 5 days a week. The ability to download all audio to save your data plan. Episodes of Monetize This, uploaded in audio form. All of my audio song parodies available for download and listenability on the Patreon app. Direct contact with me, the community, on your PC or the Patreon mobile app. All this and so much more available on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Join the Cronin Club today. All right, guys, so we're back here testing those commercial things out there. I got to say that, okay, so if many of you guys may remember, many of you may not remember. Maybe you weren't here last year. It was last year on May 27, 2016, actually over a year ago now. If you guys remember, when Daniel Bryan was announcing his retirement, we did a 2-hour live coverage show, and a guy that had been in contact with me claiming to be a former WWE writer, and I don't know if anybody remembers this, but this allegedly former WWE writer told us a lot of information, and I want to say that almost everything that he said would end up coming true over the next 6 months to a year.
Yeah, we didn't even know how to view it as credible at that point. But he gave us so many things in pretty specific detail at some points, too.
Right.
He gave you a full timeline, and just about every bullet point he hit came to fruition. So.
And I got here because I forgot about this. Clinbank sent this to me on Twitter earlier. Jeremy did. And he said, yeah, remember this? And I was like, oh, yeah, I do remember that. So I want to play this for you because this is what they were what the writers thought about Cody, because they had all these plans for Cody Rhodes. And this is what he said. And this is, reflecting back on this a year and a half ago now, and it's amazing. And if you listen to the whole Daniel Bryan retires stream that I did on Joe Cronin Show channel, we did 2 hours. This guy's 20-minute call, he fucking nailed everything. Everything he said came true, and it's insane. They definitely worked for the WWE. There's no doubt about it, based on all the info he gave us. Here it is.
That drove me nuts, okay, because I know Cody Rhodes. He's a good guy. I worked with him with that whole legacy thing. And the Stardust character is trash. He was planning on turning that over back to the Cody Rhodes character with the passing of his father.
Right.
And what I heard from my family is that Vince McMahon's people, meaning Kevin Dunn and all those jabronis, put a complete halt to it, saying that he would receive sympathy and that would halt Roman's push.
Right. I'm not
something as simple as that. And that kind of answers your question. If it's not about Roman right now, they generally don't give a shit.
Right.
Ambrose is kind of in there, but he's in there to catapult Reigns. He's not in there for any other reason.
You know something? I mean, this is some shocking sort of stuff, but yet not surprising. And I pretty much believe him. So anybody who doubts, who doubts you, I mean, I think this is pretty elaborate.
You're confirming a lot of our suspicions from, a long time.
Yeah, and if anybody doesn't remember, that was from May 16th, that was from May 2016 that we had him on. And he did a bunch of other stuff on Daniel Bryan. And pretty much in those sentences, he confirmed for us why Damian Sandow was treated like shit. why Daniel Bryan was treated like shit. These are all people that got in the way of Roman's push.
Absolutely.
Including Cody Rhodes.
Didn't want the light to be shined on Cody, especially with the sympathy of his father passing. He really had a torch to bear and an axe to grind.
Well, because remember,
he would have been able to accelerate himself to the next level. So,
well, because we all said too, like, why in the world wouldn't they flip him back to Cody Rhodes and do this whole gimmick with him and, you know, with Dusty and about that and everything? And it's like, why wouldn't they do that? And then it turns out he wanted to do that, and they wanted to do that, but they didn't want to do that. And by they, Vince,
but just the top few, Kevin Dunn, Vince, and a few other the cronies.
Yeah.
You know what's funny too is that reported yesterday was that an ex-WWE employee, James McKenna, who is now a reporter on Pro Wrestling Sheet alongside Ryan Satin, has revealed.
Hey, Ryan Satin, take a joke, you fucking ballless cunt.
Right. Well, James McKenna is the one behind all of the leaks on Reddit. He is the one that was named Falcon Arrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was the one that gave away Samoa Joe's NXT debut.
I feel like he could get sued for that. Don't you think he could get in trouble for that?
He admitted it now. He came out. He put out a tweet. He said,
God.
"Fun fact, in case you haven't figured it out yet, it was me. I did the deal." And he let everybody know that he was Falcon Arrow. And you figure he released, like, he told everybody that Shane was returning, that, you know, Sami Zayn was going to have his main roster call up. I wonder if he was the one that called. You know, you never know. But
no, that guy that called, I believe that guy that called was a guy who did some writing for them. But he said his family works there, or he had other family members writing, or like at a top, more higher position. So he never wanted to give his name out. If he's listening now, hit me up on Twitter. He was a great call. He was a great time.
It was incredible.
It was something Fish. He went by some kind of code name, and I don't exactly remember exactly what it was. But
as you were saying, yeah, you know, anything that impeded Roman's, you know, possibility of getting over was nixed in the, you know, just destroyed immediately. Any great idea was shot down. Any positive, you know, storyline or anything that can get the crowd behind a different superstar was just forget about it. It was not going to happen because they wanted Roman to be the guy. And it's unfortunate. Think about how much the landscape has changed because of Roman Reigns. Think about how much we've lost out on. Think about how much has changed. Think about how many superstars have been booked into obscurity and have become jobbers. Think about how many title reigns that we've lost out on and how many great stories we could have seen transpire. And that it's basically all essentially Vince McMahon's, you know, doing because he wanted Roman to succeed. That's why fans don't like him. That's why the smart marks are so against Roman. It's not like even him.
Anything to get Roman over. It's anything goes. Anything to get him. If it's got to be he swears, when we don't have swearing, he swears. If it's got to be we have blood, we have blood. If it's got to be Vince McMahon himself comes out to do something, and after not being on TV, he comes out to do something. If it's got to be
have
the
every star ever imagined come out and raise
his hand. The Rock, Daniel Bryan. Who else? More. I mean,
John Cena. You know, who hasn't he beat? The Undertaker. You know,
it's really getting to be pathetic and sad.
I think that had CM Punk not come out with that interview, had he not found a safe place to tell his tale, that fans may not have resented Roman so much. But it was at that time that Daniel Bryan was white hot, that they weren't really responding to Bryan as much.
Oh, Jake, and it started with that. CM Punk said, "Give me this guy, give me that guy, give me this guy," and they said, "Yes."
I don't want Roman.
Yeah.
He didn't want Roman.
Here's Dean.
For the Shield.
Here's Dean. No, they said, "Okay, we'll give you Dean and Seth. We'll give you Moxley and Seth, whatever, Black and whatever they were called at the time."
Yeah.
But you have to take Roman. That's what they said.
He didn't
to
want
him.
Roman. He wanted Curtis Axel, I think they said. Or,
it was somebody else.
Now.
It was somebody else. Yeah. But he was like, all right, whatever. Like that was like the like, okay, you will take Roman and take him the other two guys. So, and that could have ended up being a throwaway. It could have ended up being those three guys going to obscurity, and that was their only thing. Just like CM Punk had his the thing with Serena Deep in the
the straight edge
Gallows.
society.
Yeah, those two ended up going to obscurity. Could have happened to the Shield too, but instead they got over. But you know what? It almost seems like they got over because WWE had their eyes on Reigns the whole time.
It was Cassius Ohno, by the way. Thank you, chat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was Ohno that Punk wanted. Chris Hero. So,
go figure.
He wanted Hero, Moxley, and Black, and Tyler Black was a huge success. He just faced the American Dragon, and he was in developmental, and he wanted to pull them up for the Shield and NXT. Everything, would have been great. And it's like, oh Jesus. All right, I'll take Roman. But then you hear Punk go over and over and over how, all right, well, I got to do a 1-on-3 with the Shield. And, I got to make Roman look strong. Just make Roman look strong, though. He's like, it's 1-on-3. He's going to pin me. I'll make him look strong. And then he had another guy come over. Well, just make sure Roman looks strong. Yeah, I'll make Roman look strong. All right, well, we'll just make sure. And then he had another person
I will say, though, I agree. In the end, they did make the right choice bringing up Roman. It's just the idea that they have this. They can't take their eyes off this fucking guy. But yeah, continue.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that they had to put such a heavy emphasis on getting him over.
Yeah, I mean, Roman helped get the other two guys over. The other two guys helped Roman get over, but by themselves it didn't work. And then with all this stuff that happened, it was exposed. It was exposed what the plan was. And they've exposed it over and over and over and over again. And we all know now, and it's just compiling, and it's pathetic. But I want to talk about this stuff with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns right now. I have made 2 videos about this. But Jake, what I want you to do, I got to jump away for a second. Go over, you know what's happened, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we've got, the timeline is Cody cuts a promo that he's the best in the business, and he's a draw. Roman Reigns then says, well, until you're drawing 100K, like, come back later, son, or whatever he said. Whatever the hell he said, which is completely disrespectful to the Rhodes family. And by the way, Roman, I got to go off for a second, because Roman Reigns, you came into the WWE when the WWE was on top. You didn't build the WWE from where it is to where it is now. You didn't do that. The WWE was already a well-oiled machine. The WWE was already a well-oiled machine running great. And then you showed up. And ever since then, it has steadily gone down, Roman. Cody Rhodes has showed up in Ring of Honor, a company that was already going, and it went up. It went up. Their company is going up since Cody Rhodes showed up. Your company is going down. So how can Roman Reigns possibly take credit for, until you do 100K, and I don't know if that means $100,000 a show or he's making that money, I don't know. You can't say anything, Roman, because the WWE was already there. Roman is acting like he's created it or something. It was already going. It will be there without you even. So you're the company that when you started with has gone downward. When Cody started, it has gone upward. So you can say these big numbers all you want, but you're at those big numbers, Roman, because the company was already at those numbers before you. So you just to me, you look stupid saying that. But I'll be right back. Let me see what you have to say, Jake, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, I mean, so it all starts off, you hear Cody Rhodes, he comes out, and obviously everybody's sour over the fact of, everything going on with the Bullet Club. The Bullet Club, yeah, they kind of drew blood after they made their line in the sand by showing up at Raw, give or take. But, since then, we know how Cody was treated. We know why he chose to leave. And he didn't want to leave the company either from things that we heard. He wanted to try and make things work, but he's a realist. He knew that it just wasn't ideal in terms of a setting for him to flourish at, and things were just going badly. He wanted to, step up to the next level. Roman was impeding that. It wasn't going to happen. So we go ahead, we flash forward. He goes to, TNA. We see Cody in Impact. He sees that things aren't going to work well for him either. He leaves that sinking ship. He takes his rowboat to shore, ends up in ROH and part of the Bullet Club. Things are going well for him there now. So it starts off, Ring of Honor posted Saturday at 10:37 p.m. They post-match comments from Cody Rhodes after a successful Ring of Honor title defense at Global Wars. And he goes on talking about how, with him coming here to ROH, he basically turned the company around. He's made everything bigger. Bigger, better. Everything's more raw, real, and uncut. But it's also him playing a character. It's part kayfabe, part based in reality. So he's going on and on. But he really is still being, Cody Rhodes, from the Rhodes family, the son of Dusty. And he's trying to make everything, seem more emphatic. He's placing emphasis on what he's saying by claiming that he's the best there is, the best there was, per se. So he goes on and on saying that, he's getting all the buy rates for pay-per-views. He's selling out arenas. And, he's the man. He's saving the company. So a fan sends this to Roman and says, what did you think about this? And Roman said, I don't even need to click on the video to watch it. If that house, didn't draw over 100K, he's just talking silly. Walk over talk with the hashtag. And, it's going to lead to fans biting back with the comments, Reign hasn't drawn that kind of crowd either. And that wouldn't necessarily be wrong, like Joe was saying. It's a silly argument all in all, especially in this context, because it's not Cody entirely. It's a character of Cody Rhodes that he's portraying versus what Roman, a man, is actually saying. But I don't think anybody's bothering to make that distinction. That's how this came to be a fight in the first place. So it's rather unfortunate that it came to this. But Roman's opening his mouth and he's making himself look like an asshole here too, because he's trying to say that, I've gotten the bigger numbers, I've gotten more over than you ever could. But realistically, that's not true. It is true, but it's not. Like Joe had stated, the big problem is that Roman came in to everything that was already established. Everything has been lined up for him. So, it's as if he's at a, there never was a 7-10 split scenario for him. There was one pin left and he's using a bulldozer. It's impossible for him not to succeed here. They gave him the title shots. They gave him the main events at Manias. They gave him the Rumble wins. As where Cody had to go out and take something from nothing and make it into a success. He had to rebrand. He had to make himself relevant all over again. And he went into, I don't want to say ROH is a dying company because that's farthest from the truth, but he went into something that was a little less relevant and made it more mainstream. So I feel like Cody's done perhaps a better job. But Joe, I don't know if you noticed, Cody's being a character here. It's not like he's just, he's speaking truth, but he's also being a character at the same time. It's kayfabe.
He's being a sort of a heel and stuff like that. And Roman's almost talking like it's
Roman's
like
responding as a man, as an actual individual here.
Yeah.
And
well, that's what WWE does whenever I do something. That's what Jim Cornette does. That's what anybody does. I make a joke on Twitter that, hey, come on the show and you'll get a bunch of money or whatever, and he freaks out and blocks everyone and just loses his mind. I mean, this is what these people are psycho. But here's the thing.
Cody goes over and says, I'm the biggest draw in the industry. Yeah. And Roman he's talking silly.
Yeah. Well, that's why you're boring, Roman. Like Cody cut a good heel promo kind of there. Did you hear?
He said it's no longer the company that defines the man. It's the man that defines the company. That company is Ring of Honor, and that's the company I keep as the Bullet Club. So come at me, and I will be smiling because I'm the biggest damn draw in the entire industry.
Did you hear what he said?
That's what Cody said.
But did you hear what Cody said last night at Chicago?
Yeah. That's what I was going to get into next.
That is some. Now he's going there. Now it's on, right? Because now he said, what did he say? You're Roman. The only reason Roman wears a vest is to protect himself from drug policy violations or something?
Yeah.
I don't even know if that makes any sense, but...
Yeah, he said, I thought that tactical vest was just covering up failed drug tests.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, You know
what? If he
Roman
came out...
wasn't tagged in this. When Cody says, I'm the biggest draw in the entire industry, he didn't say, Roman, you suck. Roman's name wasn't even brought in there. It was some stupid Mrs. Reigns fan, Roman's Girl 88, that sent this to Roman and said, what's your thoughts on this? And that's when Roman replied with, I don't even need to click the video to watch it. If he doesn't draw over 100,000, he's just talking silly. And like you said, is that dollars? Is that fans? Is that... what is...
Well, go figure. Some freshly smelling turd chick sent him that. But,
I think he's referring to WrestleMania 32 when he's saying that he had 100,000 fans live.
Oh, okay, I get it. Oh,
I think that's what he's referring to, but...
Yeah, by the way, they lied about the attendance, Roman, you dumbass.
Yeah, that was 87 or 92,
doofus
I think
shit.
they said.
Go home and drink some tea with your kid and jump off a cliff. You know what? It would be great if Cody Rhodes showed up on Ring of Honor wearing a vest that said Superman or something like that. They just had the Superman logo, and it was a vest.
That would be great. But yeah, him to come back and say, I thought that tactical vest was just covering up failed drug tests. That was beautiful. And this marks the second time that Reigns, took an issue with anybody in the Bullet Club. He said that, wrestling needs more original characters and not wrestlers acting like they're DX. That was the first shot at them.
Right.
And now he goes, that's kind of why Cody also said that he's the biggest draw. But Cody never, directly implied anything against Roman. He was just saying in character that he's the best in the business currently. And really, you can't argue with either guy saying they are, because Roman is the top of the WWE essentially, but that was handed to him. As where Cody might be the top of ROH right now, but he earned it.
Yeah. And Joshua, I do read the chat, Josh.
Yeah.
From time to time, but it depends. It'd be interrupting all the time. That's why I just have super chat set up. But yeah, what's up? What's up to friggin' Add the Baller? And Treehouse is in the house. What's up, Treehouse? Take your leaves out and wipe yourself. We got a few more minutes left. Anything new coming out that
basically the main story I wanted to get to all this is that the Bullet Club is trademarking, as I told you before, their new hand gesture. Instead of 2 sweet, we got 1 sweet. So it's literally, and you just keep your pinky finger down. So you still make the Wolfpack logo essentially with just your pointer finger up. As ridiculous as it seems, they're able to go ahead and
trademark
this, and it'll get around Vince McMahon's legal threats. It looks similar to the gesture, except only 1 finger's raised, and it's 1 sweet. 1 sweet is 1 sweet way to dance around Vince McMahon's legal threats.
What do you think about that, Jim Cornette?
Yeah, how do you beat that? So you see right here at ROH, you got the Bullet Club, you got everybody in the ring, and they're going ahead and they're doing the 1 sweet logo. That's hook, line, sinker. They got him there.
We got to try again sometime is Discord and see if they improve the Discord thing where it doesn't cut us off anymore, and then maybe you can hear all the sounds I play again. Without having to call 6 people call on Skype.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be it'd be fantastic. Yeah, because Discord was fun to use and it was working well when it worked.
But then it just went to shit all of a sudden. Then
then for a while it was just such a delay. I would hear you 10 seconds later. I know Liz, for her YouTube channel, she just started her own Discord again too, and I'm like, down that road again, huh?
yeah. I want to get it back, but
such bad memories.
I'm gonna be, I just keep going to start it, and I want to set up all these rules and make sure it's secure, and my head just wants to explode. And then because I want to set it up for patrons and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know.
Last little bit of tidbit news here. Apparently, Bubba Ray Dudley seemingly announced his retirement. Ring of Honor Global Wars just concluded, which is their cross-platform with New Japan.
Is there something going on with him? Because he came in there ready to work with everybody and
Yeah, according to a few people at the show, Dudley put Christopher Daniels through a table and then announced, "This will be the last table I ever smash."
That is weird.
Yeah, of course, for those of you unaware, but he's one of the most iconic names. We've seen him in ECW, WWE, TNA, and Dudley Boys retired from in-ring last year after, the WWE segment with the club.
Yeah.
You can even call them that.
The club.
So we don't know what it means for the long run. Devon's working behind the scenes in WWE, and Bubba's getting older. It might be the right time for him to call an end to it, but.
I want to shout out real quick. In the last 3 months, we've had good growth on Corrupted Podcast, and right here we hit a pretty high number. But right now, episode 18 is up for free. Episode 17 and 18 are up for free on iTunes right now, so there's a good spike right there. So if you guys want to check that out, go ahead. If you're a patron, episode 19 and 20 are of course up for you already on Patreon. But just wanted to shout out that episode 18 is free on iTunes right now too. If you want something to listen to after we're done here, and then of course we'll be back tonight for. The WWE Raw review.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of things brewing, and it's a lot of rumor and speculation. Seeing that the suspected plan going.
Do you know what
forward,
they're doing tonight? Did you see the Raw spoilers for tonight?
I only heard one minor thing, so no.
Check this out. Tonight on Monday Night Raw. Tonight on Monday Night Raw, and this is State of the WWE 104. It's October 16, 2017. Reigns versus Strowman meet inside a steel cage.
Steel cage, yeah, that's what I had heard.
Sister
so far.
Abigail is coming for Finn Balor.
Yeah, Sister Abigail is supposed to be there in person.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's we're gonna see Bray come out wearing the cheesecloth over his head again. And,
yeah.
We're supposed to see the Bar and the Miz get involved in that steel cage match, and the Shield's going to come out. The Shield will be bringing back their trademark entrance at TLC where they come to the crowd, and they're also supposed to bring back their attire as well. So we'll see if they wear the SWAT gear on Sunday at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's what I would expect them to come out through the crowd, and everybody's like, "Oh my God!" Oh.
Yeah, they're gonna open with the the breakdown of the Shield letters and have the original theme music back, and they're supposed to come out through the crowd. So, also, going forward, we're hearing that Dean Ambrose is going to be the one to turn heel. They have big plans for the Lunatic Fringe for WrestleMania. Since Roman is still going to be going against Brock Lesnar, they want to have Dean and Seth face each other. So they're going to have Dean turn heel this time and have Seth be the face.
Yeah, which is man, they need.
I don't know.
They need to do something with Dean because he just sucks now. So
I'd like to see him as a heel. I mean, if he brings out a bit of that Moxley, with him and starts to act like. I mean, when's the last time he's been a lunatic?
I just wish Roman would go heel. Like
we all do, but
make them all go heel. Just put the whole Shield heel.
Put everybody in the company heel. Have no faces.
Everyone goes heel.
Everybody's bad.
Cultaholic. I can't wait. Yeah. If it's that fuck, I reached out to them, but F them. They didn't respond back to me. So screw them. Cronin. Cult of Cronin was out before Cultaholic. Cult of Cronin.
I'm curious to see what that's going to be.
I don't care. Throw him in a fire. I like Adam, though. That's about it.
And the promo video was cool, but...
Yeah, it is cool. If you like AIDS. No, I'm just kidding. No, they're a good guy.
Well, I have AIDS, so I might as well.
No, I like these guys. I really like them. I just, I don't know.
No, we'll see going forward if they reach back out to you, we'll see what happens. But Blompier has been through some shit, and I think they just want to get off the ground before they start reaching out to people.
Yeah, that's true. I want to help them though, but they don't. Nobody gets back to me. Nobody gets back to me anywhere. I think everybody might. I think everybody might hate me, except for Famous B, who apparently listens to the show, and a couple of the other Lucha Underground guys who want to be on the show, which is awesome. What the hell is going on? Yeah, but everybody...
Call and be famous, baby.
Everybody else hates me, though. I'm pretty sure everybody else hates me. I want to help people out, and they don't get back to me. It's like, I want to help you out. What the hell's going on?
I only hate you a little bit. So.
F you, Cornette, you four-eyed lesbo. I wish Santino punched you right in your scrotum if you have one. I don't know if you do. You're probably sucking on that Lance... whatever that crappy sidekick host you have who just swallows your pole the entire goddamn podcast. You think Cornette's going to talk about us again next week after all the listeners were going after him all week? It was crazy.
Yeah, because he made some comments about your fans.
Yeah, he said all the fans were ICP fans. Well, you got Tommy NC calling all my listeners yuppie heaters. So he's calling all my fans yuppies and heaters. And now you got Cornette calling all my listeners ICP fans. Well, what are your fans, Cornette? A bunch of geriatric homos? I mean, what's going on over there? You're talking about pickle lickers. You're about 3 seconds away from swallowing your entire friggin' MLW radio, the whole website. You know what I mean? That's why Conan left there. I heard because Cornette kept trying to touch him. But what are you gonna pull your prick out again at the next live show, Cornette? You sick pedo. Hey, is there
everybody?
You know why Cornette usually doesn't do it, but Cornette saw a 5-year-old in the audience somewhere, so he pulled his pants down. Normally he doesn't do it. That's why in most of these things, Cornette keeps his pants on. But he happened to catch a glimpse of somebody who might be under 18 in there, and he was like, well, I've got to throw the pants down now. All right, Cornette, you four-eyed, bug-eyed prick. All right, go back to your crazy-ass, psycho, fucking liberal babble about insanity, you messed-up Kentucky Fried Chicken of cum. Anyway, we got a super chat from Javier Santana. What's up, Javier? Who wins in their WWE Prime? The Moscow Mahler, Vladimir Kozlov, maybe? And Bulgarian Brute Rusev. Well, they both are going to do the same thing, to be honest. Hey, here's a super chat. Now it's playing.
Who wins in their WWE Prime? The Moscow Mahler, Vladimir Kozlov, or the Bulgarian Brute Rusev?
They're going to have the same career. I would say Rusev wins. Rusev had the longer, I think the bigger run, the longer run. But in the end, they're going to be mirrors of themselves because Rusev is going to become a comedy act soon with the way things are going. You can smell it. You can smell it.
Yeah, sadly. I mean, what else are they going to do with him? They're going to have him come out and, draped in the Bulgarian flag on a unicycle at this point.
Yeah. Drink your own prune juice.
What are we going to see tonight? How are they going to make fun of Mickey James's age tonight?
Yeah. Oh, Piggy James got another wrinkle.
Hey, good morning, everybody. What do you think of Kenny Omega appearing the night after? WrestleMania.
John Wills, thanks, man. That would be really cool if Kenny Omega appeared the night after WrestleMania. But the problem is, John, look, who is excited about that? WWE is terrible right now. Do you really want Kenny Omega coming? Do you really want Kenny Omega in the WWE? I want him in NXT. I don't want to see Kenny Omega in the WWE. Last year I did. I was mad last year. I was like, we need Kenny Omega. But now, I don't want anybody. I will say this right to your face. Adam Cole, Kenny Omega, Bullet Club, nobody. I don't want anybody in the WWE. Stay away from this train wreck and sinking ship. Do yourself a favor. Stay where you are. You're better off where you are. I'm not kidding. And stay there until maybe this will get better in 2 years, and then when you come in, they'll actually know what they're doing. Maybe, and that's a reach and a half there. But that's what I think. I'm not excited to see anybody here.
No, because I don't want to see him get ruined. I don't think he has. He's been offered contracts too, as we've heard, and I don't think he wants to come this way. Well, guys, I love you guys for being here this morning. We did over an hour here. We got to get out of here. I really do. I don't usually stream like this because I got my kids here. Leah's going out. I got to watch kids. I got to get out of here. Thank you for State of the WWE 104, guys. I had a lot of fun. Thanks to Jake DeMarco at Countdown Ended on Twitter. I am at Real Joe Cronin on Twitter. This was episode 104 of State of the WWE. Despite what that curly-haired cunt Sam Roberts would have you say with his State of Wrestling, State of the WWE has been around longer than any of these other wrestling crappy State of whatever the hell. Everybody makes up a new one every second, but this 104 has spanned about 5 years now on YouTube. So good luck with that, guys. And I want to thank you guys for listening. Thanks for watching the ads. If there were ads today, I tried to mess that up. Tried to test those out. Mess that up. I'm so tired I can't even speak. And I will see you guys later. I'll look at that 1 second, Leah. I got to go. I love you guys. This video is going to get uploaded to the main channel and deleted off this channel. So just so you know, if you want to rewatch this or you didn't see the whole thing, it's going to be uploaded to Joe Cronin Show's YouTube channel. So make sure you go to my Real Wrestling YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Joe Cronin Show. And if you guys really love the channel, go become a patron. Become a patron to support us. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. It's over there on that everything right here is written out. Make sure you like the Facebook page. Patreon's there, all that other crap. And, of course, you get Morning Madness every morning, and you get Corrupted Podcast every Saturday, and all the other bonus stuff we do. I think I'm going to do a Q&A on Patreon in a little while, and we'll talk about some stuff there. I might even shoot on Cornette's ass. So I think I'm going to bury Cornette on Patreon in a little while. Do it.
That'll be fun. And that's it, guys. Love Kenny Omega. Wish that WWE didn't suck right now. Good luck to us with Survivor Series coming up because it's going to be awful.
Yeah.
Guys, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.